Shout out to Red Flame J on Twitter for tagging me in this story right here. Coming out of Phoenix, Arizona, where you have these 5 individuals right here whose names are Christopher Butts, and the jokes practically write themselves considering what they're involved with. And I'm just going off of his last name. It's not funny, but it's just that his last name. But you'll see what I mean in a second. Daniel May, Jordan Holloway, Matthew Sally, and Ryan Kellerman. All 5 of these guys have been arrested after a child sex exploitation and trafficking sting, and one of them is a former detective. Now, I don't know which one is the former detective because this story just came my way, and I'm about to read the article. It says, 5 people were arrested in Arizona following a months-long operation to combat child sexual exploitation and child sex trafficking, including a former sheriff's detective who was out on bond for a previous arrest on the same charges. He just couldn't help himself. The suspects identified as Ryan Kellerman, age 36, Daniel May, age 40, Matthew Sally, age 38, Jordan Holloway, age 26, and Christopher Butts, age 44, were arrested between August 26th and September 3rd, according to a statement from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security Investigations. The operation, dubbed Operation Home Alone 2, targeted sexual predators who attempted to lure underage children with the intent of engaging in sexual activity. The investigation was led by detectives from the Arizona Department of Public Safety and involved other local, state, and federal agencies, including HSI. May and Sally of Maricopa, Arizona, were arrested on August 26th and charged with luring a minor for sexual exploitation, authorities said. The city of Maricopa is located about 45 miles south of Phoenix. Holloway was arrested the next day on the same charge. On September 2nd, Butts, a former Maricopa County Sheriff's Office detective from Phoenix, was arrested on charges of aggravated luring a minor for sexual exploitation and furnishing harmful items to a minor, according to the statement. So, the first guy is the one who used to be the detective and the one who basically got arrested again for basically the same charges. Kellerman of Maricopa was arrested on September 3rd on charges of aggravated luring of a minor for sexual exploitation and furnishing harmful items to a minor. Authorities said Kellerman is also a suspect in a child pornography case with the Maricopa Police Department. All suspects were booked into the Pinal County Jail. HSI, working alongside with our law enforcement partners, is deeply committed to pursuing alleged predators lurking within our communities, seeking to harm and exploit our most valuable population. Scott Brown, special agent in charge for HSI Phoenix, said in a statement, this multiple agency effort epitomizes our ongoing mission in Arizona and is a testament to the men and women who are working these heinous cases. And it's stuff like this which is why the show To Catch a Predator is no longer on. As we all know, with that show that used to be hosted by Chris Hansen, who most of the people were involved with as far as demographic wise. You rarely ever, if ever, saw black people or black men appear on that show. Now, like the person who sent this to me said, mainstream media is not going to talk about this. They're going to leave this as an isolated incident. But it shouldn't be isolated when it comes to that FBI crime stat for 2021. You know, when their stuff comes out next year. And I keep telling y'all that sexual assault, child molestation, and rape category, they lead in an exceedingly high amount. And that's why I say that people who do stuff like this, they need to be charged to the fullest extent. They life sentencing should be on the table to child predators, because when you hear about 2 of these guys in this picture, one of them got arrested basically for the same crime, and the other one, he had child pornography charges on him already. I mean, they're repeat offenders. They're going to continue to do it because they can't help themselves. It's like a drug and they can't get themselves off. But I'm like this. I noticed that a person who engages in this kind of activity, if they do it one time, that's one time too many. At that moment right there, they need to be taken off the street and out of regular society. and be thrown into whatever hole they can find and leave them there. But see, that's why they're trying to make, like in California with that SB 145 law or bill, whatever you want to call it, they're trying to make this thing legal, quote unquote. Imagine if they made this legal. What these guys are doing right here, depending on what state they're in, if this, like say California, they would probably be able to get away with this kind of stuff. Like they are slowly trying to make pedophilia legal. And now knowing that in the prison system that they lead an exceedingly high amount on the inmate population side for this charge, now I see why. It keeps Palm Colored out of jail. Because they know that they lead in a very high number when it comes to charges such as this or cases such as these. No matter what. A lot of the times when it comes to these stings or these rings, well, stings and rings, when it comes to stuff like this, almost every time I do a story like this, it's usually the usual suspects. Not saying you don't find any other demographic in there, but most of the time, it's people who look like the men in these pictures.